Okay, sorry, this is part 3. We were leaving off with the instruction of adding a Ferris wheel to our slide 2 before we ran out of time. So we go to pictures, we're inserting the picture. We're using, it's not a Ferris wheel, it's a popcorn machine. Sorry about that. Popcorn machine is what we're looking for here. So that was our step that we're in. I'm going to hit the enter. It starts the search for the popcorn machine. And I find a popcorn machine. Let's use that one's pretty cool. Old school. So now what we have to do is we have to resize our area here. Let's see what it tells us to do. Let's just get it cleaned up first. Let's see what it tells us to do. So here it tells us to insert online from web blank to slide using the search popcorn machine. Align the pictures along the bottom relative to each other. Resize the picture so it does not cover any text. Apply appropriate styles. So we just need to align it along the bottom relative to each other. So we're going to go ahead and resize them first. So when I've resized there, remember I'm grabbing it from that corner. I don't want to grab it from anywhere else. I want to grab it from that corner. As I was doing this, I saw some text there, so I'm going to drag it up over here. I'm going to get rid of it. So I just double tap. If that happens to you and you see that text, you can double tap and just cut it. It'll go away. So probably stretch this out a little bit to make it fill up a little bit. These are along the bottom relative to each other. You could do whatever formatting you want, right? Remember, you just click on it, you go to picture. If we want to do some thick background, or we want to do a clear background or something else, or we want to bring it forward or send it back, again, that's entirely up to you. So I'll make this bigger to try to resize it to be along the bottom relative to each other. Let's try to get rid of that. And of course, we don't want to be outside of our area. So we'll go ahead and move this up. Actually, we'll remove that background slide. It's making it go a little bit off. Okay. So I think we've accomplished that goal there, or that objective. Let's go ahead and pull up the next one. Remember, it should be saving as it goes along. So it does automatically save, and it is automatically saving to our OneDrive. So we're going to pull up the next instruction, and it tells us to insert a title and content layout slide as slide 4. So there's the key, the title and content layout slide. We'll go ahead and scroll down here. There's our placeholder, title and content layout slide is slide 4. So click insert. We want a new slide, title and content. That is our slide 4. Our title is our process. And here I believe it wants us to do some smart art, which again is right there. I think we can get it here as well. But we'll go ahead and get it from here. Let's go ahead and read what it tells us to do. Using a basic cycle process diagram, and then here are the items in our basic cycle. So I'll go ahead and get that basic cycle in there. Smart art. And again, if you hover over it, it'll tell you what they are, right? So there's the basic cycle, right? Because it has cycle, basic cycle. You click it, it'll go in here. And then what it wants you to do is it wants you to just add that text to each one of these, right? So if we go back, to our directions, right? So it wants you to add the following. So I'm going to go ahead and do the first one. I'll pause it so to save some time. And then while I type in the rest of them, I'll show you how to do the first one here, and then I'll type the rest of them in. So I just pasted it here. It goes into the circle, and that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and pause it. I'll type the rest of them in while you do the same. And all you have to do is just copy and paste, right? Or you could type it, however you want to do that. Click out of it. You should be done here as well. You could pause the video and type that like I just did. So I click out, and there it goes. I think the next step is to add a note. So let's go ahead and look at the next step. It'll save you a lot of time in this project if you print out the directions, but I want you to see what I'm doing as I go along. That's why I left them on the page. We are getting close to the end, only about 8 more steps, so we're halfway there and 3 movies in. So we're going to go ahead and add a note, and it tells you View tab, Note. So if it tells you View tab, you're going to use the View tab, right? So you go here, View tab, Notes, right? So it's giving you the answer, and it tells you what to do. So I just copied that, and there's our note. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go to the next step. So step 8, insert a 2 content slide as 5. Here's the left placeholder, and this is on the right. So 2 content slide, left and right. Insert a new slide, 2 content slide. And if you see, the sizing here looks different, right? So I drug out accidentally, and so it's harder to see things, right? And that may get you frustrated. It happens in a Chromebook. It even happens in Microsoft Office or whatever. I just need to resize it here, right, to bring it back down, right, so that I could actually see some things, right? So that happens a lot. Don't worry about it. Or I could go down below and change the sizing here. So let's see if I can get to that. I think it says 53%. We'll make it fit, right, or 100%. Click OK. So that's okay. It helps us out a little bit. But again, I clicked down here to change that size, or I clicked up here to resize it in the window, right? Get a couple things bigger. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do that next one. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pause it while I copy and paste these titles. You've seen me do a couple of those right now. I'm going to pause the video, paste those in, and then I'll come back to the insertions. The title, I've copied and pasted the list. So now we're going to go ahead and go to that next step. The next step in the process is to convert the list in the left placeholder to a numbered list. And again, it tells you where to go: home, tab, paragraph, group. Change the line spacing to numbered list to 2, and then add a 12-point star next to the original blend item. So we'll do these one at a time. The first one we're going to do is we're going to convert the list to a numbered list. Go to the Home tab. This is the paragraph group. So if I hover over it, I can see that group. And it wants us to make a numbered list. So we click on the numbered library, go to numbered list. It wants us to change that spacing to 2.0. So you can go to paragraph options. And I believe the 2.0 is the double. So I just leave that there. Line spacings 2.0. It wanted us to add a 12-point star to the original blend. That star, you're going to go to insert a shape. So the insert tab, a shape. There's one in here called stars and banners. And if you just follow along, it'll tell you what the size is. So that's a 4-point star, 5-point star. You're getting the point here. So we go to the 12-point star, and we want to put it by original blend. And I believe the next thing it wants us to do is put the number 1 text inside there. So we're going to do number 1. We're going to try to get it away from our list here. So we're just going to put it over here, make it a little bit bigger. We'll stretch it out this way to just get that number 1 right. All right, or we could put it on the other side. It really doesn't matter. So over here we could do that. The last thing I believe we need to do is get a picture of a popcorn bowl from the online search. So insert online pictures from Bing. We're going to use popcorn bowl, and we're going to put it. It doesn't really tell you, but I'm going to assume that it needs to be in that right column because it was a 2-column slide here. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Put it over there. I typed picture bowl, so that doesn't look right, but we want popcorn bowl. So let's try that again. All right, let's get this one here. Get rid of that there. So if I want to delete something with a Google Chromebook, I click on it, hit Alt Backspace, and Alt Backspace deletes because there's no delete button on a Chromebook. So I need to just highlight what I want to delete before I think I got the words. Alt Backspace. Yeah, it's just getting the words, so I can do that too. No problem. Okay. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to resize a couple things, make it look a little bit better. Make the picture a little bit bigger, and we'll get that submitted. Remember, our number 1 should be over here. And remember, I added text to that number 1. I'm not really sure if I explained how to do that. I double clicked inside of the star, and I added that text. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go on to the next part. The slide is going to be pretty much the same thing we've been doing over and over again. So I'm just going to go ahead and pause it on this part, but it tells you insert a title and body slide in slide 6. This is your title placeholder, and this is the contents in the placeholder box. I'm going to show you how to insert that title and body slide and then pause it while I type in those items there. So slide 6, where we are, we're going to insert a title and body slide, new slide. I think it was title and body. Let's go ahead and verify that. That was title and body. We're just going to use the title and content here. That's title and the body, same thing here. So we'll go ahead and double click that. Probably going to run out of time. So I'll go ahead and pause it. I'll put in these items and show you how it should look. The finish of slide 6, I just copied and pasted. You can do that in any size. I just tried to fill it up a little bit more. We're going to go ahead and end this area. This is number 3, and we're going to start video 4, which should be the final video. All right, so thank you.